A very good evening to all of you, and a very good morning to Professor Saifur Rahman, who is sitting in US, who will be the IEEE President and CEO for the year 2023, and presently he is IEEE President-Elect 2022. IEEE AP MTT joined Bangalore chapter along with IEEE Bangalore section in association with IEEE AESS, ComSoc, CAS, Education Society, ITS, PES, VTS Bangalore chapter, and Mysore and North Karnataka subsection is pleased to organize this activity, which is a fireside chat with IEEE President-Elect. We are really honored and privileged that you have joined us despite your busy schedule. Objective of this fireside chat is to provide an opportunity to fellow volunteers as well as members of all the OUs which I have mentioned to interact with you and to know your plans and initiative as an IEEE president. We know your association with India is from since 1987, and you have given several keynotes as well as invited presentations over 30 international conferences in India. These include several famed National Power System conferences, NPSCs, at Kolkata, Delhi, Bhubaneswar, Trichy, and so on, and IEEE PowerCon in New Delhi, 10Con in Hyderabad, as well as IndyCon in Delhi. We are very happy to know that you have also guided PhD as well as MTech students from India, and more than 10 such students were guided by you at Virginia Tech. You have also collaborated in joint research project with Jadavpur University in Kolkata as well as NIT Rourkela, which was funded by US National Science Foundation and the Department of Science and Technology, India. As a co-principal investigator of a greenhouse gas pollution prevent project in India, you have contributed significantly. And as I understand that you have conducted a seminar for fresh IES officers at Lal Bahadur Shastri National Academy in Mysore. Very interestingly, in 2018, your initiative to form at IEEE Power and Engineering Society India Chapter Council, which is, I think, a unique initiative in IEEE, which felicitated the work of PES chapters in India as a whole. So these initiatives show your love and affection for India. We expect as IEEE President, you will continue to give same affection and importance to India, Indian members, as well as volunteers. Now to begin with, we would like to hear from you, what is your message to our fellow volunteers and members of Bangalore section as well as India? Over to you, Professor Rahman.
Thank you, Puneet, very much. Good evening to everybody in the audience. Namaste. I have been to Bangalore many times. First time was 1985. I visited IISc Bangalore. We knew Professor D.P. Sengupta was there at the time. I was his guest. So at that time, I visited some hardware companies in the IT sector. So they made hard disk at the time. So my point is, I think I know the Indian academic community very well, industry community a little bit, and the sectional leadership, like here we have Puneet and everybody else, Dr. Day and everybody else. My message is, IEEE is a large organization. Membership today is about 40% industry, maybe less, remaining academics, maybe less than 60 or less than 40% industry. This is a challenge because, yes, we have large student membership. India has the highest number of students in the IEEE. But the challenge is, in order for us, IEEE, to be useful, effective to the global community of engineers, we need strong industry participation. Bangalore is a hub of industry activities. It's a good place to start. I would like to see, like right in front of me, I can see the officers. Many of you are from industry, which is a good sign. It's not the case everywhere. I would like to see this as an example of how industry, how and why industry finds IEEE useful for their professional life, number one. Number two, how can they become part of it? I would like to encourage the AP MTT chapter and everybody else, ComSoc, computer, ITS, VTS, and so on, Karnataka, North Karnataka, Mysore section, and education society, that reach out to industry, reach out. What I have done, I was a section chair like you in 1985 in Virginia. I used to invite industry speakers at our meetings, talk about your life, how you do things. And we recognize the industry speaker, maybe over a dinner, we give him a certificate with IEEE and the local section logo. And this industry engineer finds that very attractive because in the past, it's a very rare case, somebody invited a manager of a local company to give a talk. It's not very common. And he, or in this, mostly he get excited, and they will typically have seen, frame that certificate and put the certificate on the wall behind his desk. This is something very unique. Then people come to see their boss, see a IEEE certificate, ask him, sir, what is this? What is it about? Why you get it? Then you build awareness among young engineers for IEEE's services, products, and so on. So my first appeal will be for you, Puneet, and the rest of the crew in the audience here to open up the industry and be more receptive and recognize industry engineers' contribution to your section events. I'll stop here and then take questions or other comments. And of course, any of you besides Puneet want to say something, please feel free to give your comments and ask questions. I have a lot of other issues I can bring up, like YP membership, dues, and all the other stuff, which I can talk in detail as time progresses. Thank you, Puneet.
Yeah. Thank you, Professor Rahman, for bringing out a very important aspect that IEEE is known as academic organization, and participation or bringing industry on board is very, very important. And in Bangalore section, we are really happy to inform you that we have taken several initiatives in the form of industry awards, in the form of flagship industry event like Bangalore Technology Conclave. And you may be happy to know that when we did the bylaws change, we have created a specific vice chair post. Most of the places in IEEE, they will call it as a vice chair professional activities. But to give due importance to industry, we have made that post as a vice chair industry activities. So
Okay.
that much emphasis and importance we are giving to industry. And as you have rightly said that Bangalore is important for industry. So you may be seeing that last year when we selected the chair-elect candidates also, specifically we have chosen 2 stalwarts from the industry as a chair-elect candidates, which gives a very strong message to the industry that yes, we are taking a serious note to bring industry professionals on board. Related to this question, I would like to know, what are your plans and initiative as an IEEE president, which you will be implementing in 2023?
Well, there are many things I have on my list. One is strong industry engagement, which can drive membership numbers. Somebody briefly, you mentioned, I think briefly, I formed the IEEE PS Chapters Council. That is a council of all PES chapters in India, maybe 11 or 12 of them. Ramakrishna may know better. Why is it important? There is no platform for chapter chairs to meet. There is something called IEEE India Council. Sections form the council. They meet. In fact, IEEE India Council has a conference, more than one. Indigon is one example, which is good. There is no such thing for power, no such thing for computer society, education, ITS, VTS, nothing. So I said, let's do this. That way, we have a platform where members can meet. I met with PS chapter chairs in 2018 in Hyderabad, in fact, and Ramakrishna was there. So, and also what we have done, we have put money in the budget, PS budget, to help travel expenses for chapter chairs to come to a meeting in India at least once a year. So that's now my answer to your question, Puneet. I would like to strengthen the IEEE councils in India, China, I mean, bigger countries, which have more than 5-6 sections in the country, so that they have a voice. Very important. I believe, as the incoming president 2023, I have said many times, sections and chapters are the soul of IEEE. IEEE lives on those section chairs and chapter chairs contributions. Without them actively engaged, nothing will happen. And for a long time, they have been kind of ignored. We take them for granted. Yes, there's India Council, fine. But how does the IEEE president interact with India Council chair? Right now, almost nothing. I plan to do that. I will do that. Number one. Number two, how does the voice of the India Council get heard at the IEEE board level? Yes, you have Region 10. Fortunately, an Indian person is a Region 10 director now. So you can tell the Region 10 director that please bring this issue of fees, rupee dollar conversion, access to publications at the board level. He will probably do that, but he is one of 20 directors, 10 region, 10 tech director. Ramakrishna was an art director at one time. But if the president takes initiative, it has a much bigger weight, and the board will hear more carefully. This is my answer to your question, Puneet, that I want to see that section councils, India councils, and other councils around the world has a direct voice to the president, so that we are more responsive to the local needs. So that's my thinking, and that's my plan going forward.
Yeah, thank you, Professor Saifur. I think that will be really a game-changing initiative from directly coming from the IEEE president, because yes, even though India Council chair represents now 13 sections of India, but he or she does not have any voice in IEEE board. So, and in fact, now the membership of India is more than 55,000, which is much more than a few regions of IEEE.
That's right.
But still, that voice is not heard. In fact, when I talk about IEEE Bangalore section, I always tell that IEEE Bangalore section membership, which is now 10,000 plus, is more than 90% societies of the IEEE. So
Yeah.
IEEE Bangalore section chair should be treated on par with any society president. So that is the analogy I give to members. So I think you will be giving due importance to that aspect as well, so that at least the sections which are having such huge membership, whether a kind of a representation or at least once in a year, some kind of a this kind of interaction can be initiated where we can raise our voice, because all society presidents, they are having representation in board, and their voice, their society related issues can be heard. But what about, because we are treated on par with a section which is having say 300 membership, which is
That's
not
right.
correct.
That's right. You know, this is
So
a
now,
very good point, Puneet. The point is, the issue that you're raising, I have thought about this. I never heard that raised at the level of MGA board. Never heard that. I don't know why Region 10 director, Region 8 director doesn't raise this issue. They should. This is their avenue. So I plan to attend, speak at the MGA meeting next month. I put my schedule. The board meeting, I'll go there and bring this issue up, that you cannot equate a section with 250 members and Bangalore 10,000, Kerala 10,000 plus members. Can't equate them. So create some mechanism so that larger sections with or larger even sections at least, if not councils, have a platform to raise their issues, which is not heard today. That is my mission now, not, well, I would wait till 23. I was beginning now.
Yeah, I'm sure that this feedbacks what we are providing you, and we know you that once you decide, you implement it. That PES India Chapter Council is one such, I can say, example that you mean business. And that's why we are raising such issues, because we know it is important to raise issues in front of a person who can do the things rather than simply telling and which is not being heard. So hope when you become president, we see that sections like us have due recognition as well as importance. Thank you. Now I will go to the similar question which I have been asking. Most of the IEEE membership, basic IEEE membership in India specifically, at least in Bangalore situation is better. But in my personal opinion, along with basic IEEE membership, one should also take at least a society membership in which area he or she is working. I would like to take your opinion on that and your suggestion as advice for the members, how it will benefit an individual to be a member of a particular society in which he or she is working.
Very good. Very good point. We struggle with this issue all the time. I was a society president, Power Energy. What if I was not a society member, just IEEE member, I would not get the society magazines. I would not take part in society conferences. I would not take part in society chapter activities. I would not. So this message has to be loudly transmitted to the IEEE members, value of society participation. PS, our example, we pay IEEE dues. On top of that, we pay $30 PES membership dues, which is a hardship for many. Like India could be a hardship example. We'll come to that later on. What I have seen done in TAB, that if a member becomes a society member, they'll get a second society membership free. Now, the income for the society is the membership dues and publications. That's the income. So if they give it for free, somehow that revenue has to be made up somehow. We have to find a way to do this. Maybe society makes it free, IEEE will give them some subsidy. So I'll talk about that, subsidy. So the society is not losing all $30. Maybe they're losing $10. IEEE gives them $20 as an example. That's my model. Plus second society free. So this is, the point is, IEEE, we talk a lot, we don't deliver, we just keep talking. You go to a meeting, he's talking. I said, no, have a goal. What is your objective to achieve? My objective is, we'll see if we can make the society membership free, one society free, and how can IEEE reimburse, at least partially, the society budget so they are not losing all $30 per members. So that would be something I would pursue through TAB.
Thank you, Professor Saifur, for bringing this very, very important point, which is the voice of most of the Indian members. I will just list down three topmost things what I hear from our members in India, because from last a decade I am in volunteering, so I will be asked this type of questions: why I should take an IEEE membership when for everything I have to pay? So there are three important things what members want, which I take liberty to tell you. First thing what they want is, along with basic IEEE membership, at least one society membership free. And I know society membership fee is varying, dues are varying, starting from $40, $50 to it comes to $10, $15. So I think rather than giving one society membership free, at least we can tell that up to $20 can be treated as a coupon for taking any society membership. That is the first point. Second point, they tell, even though I'm an IEEE member, I cannot download any paper, not a single paper from IEEE Explore. Then why I should take IEEE membership? And there are organizations which are having this IEEE digital library subscription. Then those members are employees of those organizations, they definitely will not take. Why I should take IEEE membership? Anyway, my organization is having digital library subscription. I can download the papers. So in India, it is very, very important, and people take membership that they should be able to at least download, say, one paper in a quarter. So at least 4 papers in a year, I think that can be done. We are having a huge corpus of money with IEEE as well as regions, sections. I think we should think about that, at least one paper per quarter. And another third important point, in India, we are having almost 70% membership comes from the students. The moment a student is graduated, that retention is not happening.
Right.
So whether we can have a reduced membership for YPs, say 50% of the basic IEEE for at least initial 5 years, which is the formative year of any professional members. If we can catch them at that year, membership will go exponentially. At least I have traveled in India extensively, so I can talk about that. But these are the 3 important things which members from India as well as Karnataka, they would like to have some initiative from you. So that's why I'm bringing. And we would like to know your perspective on this.
Well, first of all, I set up many years ago something called Member Digital Library. Who are consultants, they need a lot of, not just one per quarter, any more than one per quarter.
Yes.
They pay a very small fee. And in our case, it was IEEE, PES, PELS, and I think IEES. 3 societies came together. So if you are a member of one of those 3 societies, you can buy Member Digital Library subscription. You can download like many, 50, 60, 100 papers for journals and conferences offered by those 3 societies. Still there, but not very used because consultants use it, but not others. It has a fee, not free. On top of that, like you said, we can have a policy that will allow up to 4 per year, some number like this, to be downloaded by any dues-paying member of the society, not IEEE, of that society. They can download their society publication, not others. So that I'll work on that. And for YP reduced membership, I think that is still, that exists now to some extent. First 2 years, I think reduced rate, then it goes up. That can be extended. So
no, I think it is on the first year alone. It is not up to 5 years.
Okay.
Only first year it is there. So I request to extend it up to 5 years so that during formative year of any professional, because even that $40 matters in India.
Right, right. So I'll look into that with the MGA. You know, IEEE is a very heavy heavy meaning it's a lot of layers and hard to change things. It took me more than a year to set up the chapter councils. Fought very hard, but I stuck behind it and it happened. So I plan to start talking about this reduced membership with the MGA. They are the board who decides the membership dues. And so what they tell me, membership dues are the only income for MGA. Now they are doing section level conferences, have some revenue from that now. But they have expenses. They give section rebates, for example, and few others. They have to pay for their travel of their region directors, for example. So I have a plan whereby I would say MGA is our heart and soul. Their income stream is limited. If I make YP membership dues less, the income even goes down. So somehow IEEE has to accept that and let MGA be a loss leader, meaning they would not have to balance their budget 100%. Give them some, I don't know, some amount of money every year to keep them going. So if that is sold to the board, then MGA has other revenue sources. They can afford to reduce the YP membership dues first 5 years. They can also make the student membership dues, it's now 50% off right now. So those are, when I talk to the IEEE staff about this, they tell me for it costs IEEE maybe $80 or $90 per member to service them, publication, paperwork. So if you charge only $20 from a student, your expense is $80, losing $60 per student member per year. A lot of money. I tell them, do not think like an accountant, think like a society which is membership driven. Yes, we cannot make revenue from everywhere and balance budget by sector, but balanced budget has to be at IEEE level as a whole. Example, we make a lot of money selling conference papers and journal papers, a lot of money, that's income. We don't pay any money to an editor or a reviewer, zero, but he or she is working very hard. So you cannot use that argument that students have to pay their fair share to be able to reduce membership dues. Thinking is the issue, it's thinking process. That has to change. I'm hoping with my background and my work with people like you, I can keep on hammering this issue, think differently. Do not think accountant, every piece has to make money. Forget that. Big picture. This is my message at the first board meeting next month. That's my opening speech, in fact.
Yeah, thank you, Professor Rahman. I would just give a counter argument or a supporting argument for you. IEEE always charts out the revenue model as well as expenditure with respect to US. But in India, we have done through India Office one study that IEEE spectrum, if it is published in India, that cost is going to be reduced by 20 times. So can you imagine? For Indian people, we don't need IEEE spectrum printed from US, coming all the way from US to India. Let us go and outsource the things. For Indian members, we can have printed in India. There is a big IEEE India office which can take this kind of initiatives. There is no need for any society publication coming from outside. It all can be printed, or even because most of the members, they are taking a digital membership now. So there is no expenditure involved for digital membership or electronic membership. Literally, there is no expenditure on the members. Only expenditure is there for the website management, server management, all those things, which comes as a part of a tab, which anyway have revenues for them. So there are several things which we can discuss offline, and we can propose at least for Indian members. If we are telling that there are expenditure on them, we definitely cut down the cost. We also know whatever we are paying, we can manage within that. And as far as rebate for the sections and student branches are concerned, that is another issue which I raised several times with the president. When you become president, I will raise again. You see, out of $80, what a section get maximum $4. This is not fair.
Right.
Anyway, that is even not a 10% dues, but I don't want to raise those issues here, but still we should look into that aspect as well. It is not fair to charge $80 and give $4 to a section and think that they will be working on the membership.
Very good point. Thank you. So these things have not been discussed for the last 30 years, and the world has changed. Economics has changed. The dollar rupee currency conversion has significantly changed. I used to buy $1 with 40 rupees in there. 40 rupees, $1. Now it's like 70 rupees, $1.
Yeah, so thank you. So we are losing time. I know if we will continue like this, it is never ending, but still there are few questions from the members which I would like to take, and then I will open the floor for other participating delegates. Members are, there are several questions. They want to know your journey in your career as well as in IEEE, how you reached to this level and how IEEE has helped in your career as well as in your professional journey.
Well, first of all, I became IEEE student member 1975, January in New York. I was a student in New York at the time. I became member in 78 when I finished my PhD. Became senior member in 85 or so, I think 84, 85. My first volunteer job was IEEE Virginia Mountain Section Chair. That 85, I was elected the chair. Then I saw Virginia has a council. We got 6 sections, 6 IEEE sections, yes, council. We had to travel to a different city to meet other council members, but there's no money. How do I spend my own? I'm a young, low-paid assistant professor. I can spend money to stay in a hotel and drive. I cannot. So I didn't go. Simple as that. I didn't go. That's why I set up the Chapters Council in India now, China, and We have budget, we have money. You don't have to pay from your pocket. The council has budget to pay your airfare and a hotel to come to a meeting in Hyderabad or Bangalore, or whatever it is. So that's what I did. I want to do this for IEEE sections. This is the big countries like India, which has councils. No. Anyway, that's second step. Then I became a volunteer for PES. I was VP publications in late 90s in the US or in Virginia. I was still at Virginia Tech. Then things moved on. I became many committee chairs. I was the VP of publication IEEE 2006. I was the chair of the IEEE product committee. That committee decides the pricing for Explore and other things. That's the committee's job. I also chaired the committee for reviewing publications called periodical committee. I was then PS vice president for many different things, PS president. So it is a long journey, starting officially in 1985 as an active volunteer. So those of you who want to move up, you need to be visible. Because why would people vote for you? They would not vote for you based on your name. You have to do something else and be known to them. So Puneet is doing very well. You are very visible. So I said to my younger colleagues that be visible, remain optimistic, aim high. And I have made a mission for myself. When I see openings for volunteer positions at the IEEE level, I let people know. I've done for Puneet and others, in fact. Like this opening, it may not be successful at first attempt, but don't give up hope. Keep trying. What I've seen happening now is a good thing. As you see, the board is US based. Most of the board members live in the US. I have said we have to be diversified. So I know PS has it. IEEE also has it. We want some geographic diversity. So when two people apply to become a some society's member, let's say, one applying from US regions 1 through 6, one from India region 10, we give preference to the Indian candidate for that reason. So that's happening. And that'll, I hope, continue. So that's my IEEE journey. And personal journey, I was born in Bangladesh, came to US in 1974. I have been around for that long, and I have moved up in academic field. But how did IEEE volunteer work help me in my career? Very good question. What I have seen, I have learned how to be heard in a bigger platform. So you become section chair, you do something, become society vice president, do something else. So that has helped me to run large projects at Virginia Tech, because it gave me an opening or idea as to how to negotiate, how to discuss things, how to keep the team together, how to make sure every team member feels they're being heard, they're being listened to. So those characteristics I learned from my IEEE volunteer job was useful in my academic career as a project leader or large team lead at Virginia Tech.
Thank you, Professor Rahman. There are several questions from students. They want to know, as a president, what you are having in your bag for them.
Well, one is looking at the dues issues, students, but that's not the only issue. I have said India is a very good example. India has many student branches, numerous student branches. I have given talks, webinars in many of them. One coming up in Pune in March, in fact. I said to the students, IEEE student branch platform gives you an opportunity to become a leader where you cannot become a leader in a vacuum. It has to be in a community of people. So you need a community. So the section gives you, and the student branch gives you the community. Offer Volunteer, like could be a section, student branch treasurer, secretary, event manager, whatever it is, do something. That is, I think, the best thing IEEE is giving you a platform, a community using which you can show your talent for leadership. The talent doesn't develop in vacuum. It has to be done in a community which is not adversarial. If you go to politics, very adversarial. It is not, it doesn't work that way. But IEEE student branch community of your students who are your friends, but you give a chance to express your leadership qualities. That's number 2. And number 3, try to give something, meaning you are a IEEE member, not everybody is a member. So have a talk over coffee with your colleague, fellow student who's not a member. Explain to them why you became a member and how your membership is helping you to be a more complete person. Complete doesn't mean just study, do other things. You do other things like event organization, organize a student paper session, organize helping students who need some help, like people do tutorials, for example. So many opportunities exist, but this is a platform the student branch offers you. So that's my message in short to my student friends.
Yeah, so with this, I will stop questions from my side as well as members. So I would request those who are attending, if you are having any questions, please raise your hand. And I can see Ramakrishna sir also. So he wanted to ask provide some observation because he has taken several leadership positions from chapter, section, council as well as region level. So Ramakrishna sir, are you there? I think he was wanted to ask you something, but I can see another hand coming from Dr. Alok Nath Day, who is the chair elect, who will be the chair during your tenure. So yes, Dr. Day, you can switch on the, you can ask questions. Now I can see
Okay.
Ramakrishna sir. 1 second, Dr. Day, 1 second.
Sure.
Ramakrishna sir, you wanted to have some advice or observation to Professor Saifur with respect to India Region 10. So over to you. You are muted, sir. We are not able to hear you.
Puneet, thank you. You're able to hear now?
Yes.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, congratulations, Puneet, and for hosting this first thing, because the Bangalore section is the most vibrant section, Saifur. I think it is ranking 4th or 5th in membership-wise now today in 2022, as on the statistics of 31st December last year, I think. And you are talking about the industry relationships, you know. I think one of the few sections which has excellent relationships with industry is Bangalore, no doubt in that. Like the metro workshops, which you took off in 2015-16 by US guys. That was replicated here by as metro smart tech workshops by Ravi Kiran, the then chair of Bangalore section. And we identical, it was the same format, everything. It was so successful. And in fact, I'm happy they're continuing those things still as an annual flagship event of Bangalore section. And for your information, the Schneider Electric and the BESCOM, or the corporate agreement was made under, of course, under PES itself with your initiative. So the industries, again, in Bangalore only it happened. The third one is the power grid now in Delhi. So that way, what I'm telling is industry focus is very well taken up in India, especially in Bangalore section. But one thing definitely we have to address is what is the take for the industry members from IEEE. My personal feeling is that, you know, a lot of industry guys, they put up an excellent experience of 20 years, 30 years, 40 years like that in our technical area, mostly not changing the job like in Samsung or, you know, on Power Grid or NTPC or wherever you are there in government sector. The experiences here, both as technical or professional, what they achieved, they could be put as a footprint in their footprint as a paper published in important journals or at least in IEEE newsletters at least. Those things which will help the younger generations, and their experience is not lost when they retire. Including, I'm talking about the volunteer leaders who are on the call today. Everybody's experience is very, very important for all others. So that way they can publish papers. So many of I think 90% of the industry members, they do not know how to write a paper at all. They have ideas, brilliant ideas, but they cannot put on the paper. So our IEEE should help them to conduct workshops, how to write the papers, how to bring their focus, how to be visible like that. That would be very helpful actually. That improves the relationships between industry and IEEE a lot. It is not, apart from the innovators, incubators, whatever, entrepreneurs and all, no, that's a different issue. I'm talking about the existing lot of major companies in India and abroad. If you can focus there, that relationship, putting the technical societies especially in charge of this, through their different antennas, means antennas guys can go there, power means power can, computer society can go to, like that. That's one thing I want to answer, which you were raised in the beginning, right? The second suggestion I want to make is about the student members. Student members, especially in India, they really get disconnected because the membership goes with their mentors or the branch counselors. Branch counselors, mentors also keep changing their roles or jobs. If their interest is lost, they will leave the college and go away, or institution or the university. Then the student bank will become inactive, and the students also will get, because they are driven by to get whatever assignment scores or to get good projects and all. They'll be in good looks. They want to be in good looks, so they listen to them. So what we should address is the student bank counselors and mentors for the student bankers. They should be taken care of. They should be motivated. So the sections and the chapters across India, they should concentrate with them. So they should conduct some good workshops for them and recognize them also well. Okay, this is the second issue. And third with the students is the membership. Definitely, though it is now 50%, that's why huge growth is there in the membership in India of students, especially with the student members. They compare, with Computer Society of India, IEEE, Institute of Engineers, all other professional bodies. They offer very low rates for membership. That's the reason why they switch over, because in many colleges, including IITs, when I had gone there, they say, why you should go for IEEE? There is a better, I'm heard better here also, like that they say. So I think student-focused activities, we should do much more than this. These are the basic three things. Otherwise, friends, I think they're excellent leaders in our volunteer roles, especially in Bangalore section. Everybody will get an opportunity. And as Saifur said, we should be visible. Keep working, be active. Whether you are recognized or not, one day will come, for Saifur to be active, he was a member from 1975. He became active in 1985 only, in the role of volunteership. Okay, I was also a member from 1990. Somewhere in 96 or 97 only I became active in Bangalore. Time will come. It's not that the day one you take something, the day one you join the job, you'll get experience or skill. It will take time for you to learn the things. But learn the things and deliver with your technical excellence, intelligence and all, I think we will reach higher goals. And I am definitely sure that Saifur will help us. He'll give us more recognition through, if you are interested, you can apply to many positions on the website. It is available through MGA, NNDA or, IEEE NNDA. You should apply, and if you are really eligible, if you are focused, how to write and all these things, you should now, again, how to write your, submit your position statements or whatever it is, you need a workshop for that also, even for awards. For everything you need that. So section volunteers or leaders, they will help you. And once you apply, then definitely Saifur will help. What you have, a number of representations from India, it will be much more than this next year, definitely. I am sure about that. Saifur will assure us.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Now I would like to go to Dr. Aloknath Dey. He has raised his hand. Yes, Dr. Dey, over to you.
Okay, I have two comments, one on membership and one on the industry side. So first on the membership, I think Puneet, you brought it, and one society and some having larger fees, some smaller. But I want to give a little philosophical twist to this, because you said big picture. Now the big picture is why I join IEEE, I mean, without any society, it is not, it's like an infra IEEE, but a society gives the life to the person's professional growth. So I think if we take it like one society is compulsory almost, like, why not? It's included in the memberships and you call it free, you give them discount, 50% of them at the back end. And I think the societies would also benefit because I don't have data and it will be interesting to know how many of the people are actually IEEE member, but no society member. So if we can convert all those people to one society member, sorry?
Yeah, I can give you data of Bangalore section. When I was chair, so more than 50% members, up to 60 to 65% members were only IEEE members and only 35% were society members. So that is the kind of ratio I expect maybe across IEEE.
So if it is, let's say 50%, and if you do at the back end, the subsidy of 50%, but we get all these members. So actually societies are not losing money, but we are getting much more memberships. And it's a very philosophical thing that you need to be, one society member. And I don't think people would choose because it's based on interest. So whether it is $10 or $50, I don't join the $50 because this is higher. This is because of my interest. So
Right.
I think we should get out from that philosophy and then try to include. This is one suggestion that I have to you. And the other point on the industry, there is good part in communication society. We could say 50% of our member execoms is there. And I participated in Global ComSoc MVRC, the Membership Value Research Congress recently, what we could bring in, the suggestion that you gave on the manager speaking and certificate coming. So we also talked about that kind of thing. So it is a great thing. But I would like to bring two challenges that I have faced because I'm from industry and I'm interacting with many of them. One, I think Puneet also mentioned that the digital library, since it is there and the papers are available, that's a big benefit. So then why people become members? So that's one challenge that we face it. And the second thing I see in the standards, I did some special sessions on open source, on 5GI versus 5G, many such workshops. And IEEE is the standard, like, people in communication, I'm at least telling, but also in other fronts, it is there, Computer Society, Info Theory Society. Because there is 3GPP, there are other standard bodies. IEEE is doing much more fundamental, some of the Wi-Fi and few of those. If we can recharge these standard bodies a little bit, open source, I think more than visibility that we talked about, but I think on ground, this kind of work, if we can do, I believe industry will be very much attracted towards this. So these are my humble submissions. Thank you.
Thank you, Aloknath.
So Professor Rahman, now we are closing to 9 p.m. So I just want to know whether you are having time or we should wind up this because I am having more than 15 hands raised still. So
I can stay 10, 15 more minutes, no problem.
Okay, great. So I will take few more questions from the members and then we will wind it up. So now I would like to go to Dr. Chandrakant Kumar. I am seeing his hands and he is raising multiple times. So Dr. Chandrakant, over to you.
Thank you, Professor Rahman. I contacted you during the Connect last year, and I'll be in touch with respect to that this year also. Now, with respect to the discussion today we are having, I just want to know whether there is a possibility that there will be representations in the IEEE board based on the membership of some regions. Because I understand now it is very much skewed representations from certain region, and like big regions like ours, we are not properly represented. Thank you, Professor Rahman, your comments on this.
Let me answer that question, Chandrakant. That's a big issue being discussed for 2 years now. IEEE Region 8 and 10 are extremely big compared to Region 2, 3, 4 like this. There's a plan now to split 8 and 10 into 2 each. So 8 covers Europe, Middle East, Africa. There'll be 2 regions from that. And region 10 covers Asia Pacific with 2 regions out of 10. We at the same time do not want to make more regions, cannot make 12 out of 10. We'll shrink some regions from 1 to 7 and 9. Those are smaller regions. So that discussion going on is quite political because US has 6 regions. If we shrink, make 5 out of 6, somebody has to give. So who is giving? So this discussion going on at MGA level right now, but I fully support this realignment, as it is called, and I want to see this is done this year, 2022, make a decision. So this is happening, but you're right, it is not fair to have 100,000 members almost in region 10. And region 3 and 2 may have more than
Saifur, it is 150,000 members as per latest information. Region 10, 150,000.
So this is not fair. So there's discussion going on, and MGA will have discussions on this topic beginning in February. So I'll push for this. I can tell you this much, Chandrakant. I fully appreciate this is not fair.
In fact, we have raised this issue to 2 years before to IEEE President. In fact, what we would like to see India as a reason, because we are having 55,000 membership, 1/3 of the R10. So why don't we think realignment with respect to geography also? We are having 13 sections. You see, out of region 6, 1 to 6 membership, if you add, why only reduction of 1? We want reduction of more regions and bringing more regions in this part of the globe so that fair share of representation is happening.
Right. The issue is this, Puneet. The issue is our board is big, already 31 members on the board, 31. It includes 10 region members and 10 division members, plus a few others. So if I make 15 regions, I make the board plus 5 more. So 36 members. It becomes very difficult to manage. As it is difficult to manage. We have made a decision. We would not raise the membership on the board, but at the MGA level, there may be more than 10 regions. It's a possibility. MGA has 15 regions, let's say, 15. India is one of the 15. And then somehow put some together to make 10 out of 15. So this is maybe a intermediate solution. The MGA has 15 regions and IEEE has 10. This needs to be worked out. But keep talking about it. Don't stop. Keep talking. Otherwise, they'll forget.
Yes. Thank you, Professor Rahman. So another question I would like to take from Dr. Kedar. So yeah, Dr. Kedar, over to you.
Thank you, Professor Rahman. It's a pleasure to be face-to-face with you for the first time. Anyway, I have just very quick question. Like, I want to talk about the students' incentives. So I have a couple of students who have been working with me for so many years, like changing. They always have. I like try to push them to become the member, but every time they say, "What is the incentive you'll get by taking the IEEE membership?" So I try to explain them that, okay, first of all, is you're getting aware of the technology, latest cutting edge technology, then you have a chance to publish. And when we come to the publishing, so they have issues about the charges of the publications and the visibility in the publication. So I have only 2 suggestions. One is that why can't we have a students, specialized student section in the publications from like R10 and region wise, so that our students can publish their work, which can be obviously be scrutinized properly, but they will get some interest and some motivation once their work starts publishing and they get some reviews and the comments from the experts all around the world. So that is my first suggestion. And the other thing is, this will motivate them to continue their membership also further. Once they come into the industry, so they have the motivation, they will continue their membership and they convert from the student member to the members. So this is my quick submission, sir, and I'd like to have your comment on that. Thank you.
Very good point. I have discussed this issue with the Bhubaneswar section on this very topic, and I'll tell you what came out of this. First of all, many societies, including PES, we charge very small membership fee for students to take part in a conference, very small, like $10, $15, not $500. we do this. Not all societies do this. Exactly right. We want to give students a platform to present their ideas in front of a group of experts. So we charge less, number one. Number two, I would like to see, this is the discussion with Bhuvaneshwar's section, local sections take some leadership. I said, why don't your section, Bangalore, have a conference which is student focused? In IEEE PS, we have a conference for us, PES, North America Power Symposium, only for students, only students. They feel shy, they do not feel shy to stand up with a industry chief engineer to speak, all students. Give them the courage to do this, and very little fee for that type of conference. Now, with remote participation can be even cheaper. If they're traveling, there's no cost of food, no cost of conference room, hotels. So I would encourage Bangalore section as an example to have student-focused conferences with remote participation. That way, students don't feel so shy. What I also heard from Bangalore, the students are shy because they think their work is not complete, so they feel kind of shy to come up and talk about it. But if they see mainly students are listening to them, they don't feel as shy because they are not facing experts, so to speak. So I would suggest this, Dr. Kedal, that your section in Bangalore, maybe your chapter, can organize virtual conferences giving priority to students, and fee will be almost negligible.
Yeah, thank you, Professor. Thank you for giving a wonderful idea as well as perspective. Just we would like to inform you as a Bangalore section what initiative we have taken towards this conference organization and specifically for students. So as a section, we always do conference in the name of Connect. Every year it happens. Since 2013 it is happening. And in Connect, we ensure that student registration fee is always 50% of the regular registration fees. So you see, if X is the fee for non-member, we give at least 25% discount to IEEE members, so which become 0.75x. And out of this 0.75x, again further we give 50% reduction, so it becomes 38.5 kind of a X. Means we give less than 40, we charge less than 40% of the regular registration. That is the first thing we do for the students. Second thing, when I was chair, what we have initiated, this is just an initiative to give further discount to the students as well as other researchers. We initiated, because over the years we have seen that paper submission happens at the end, last day of the paper submission date. So to maintain quality, we found it difficult that review process is very, very less. 1 month, 45 days or maximum 60 days are available. And when you are having papers of the order of 600 plus, it becomes a Herculean task to review that. What I did, we initiated early submission discount.
Right.
The moment paper submission opens, we gave that over and above this, if anybody gives within 15 days of the paper submission opening, we were given discount further additional 20%, so that our reviewers are having sufficient time to review the papers. And this was having, we have created 3 slots: 60% discount, 40% discount, and 20% discount. 15 days, 30 days, and 45 days within the opening of the submission process. So almost 40% paper came in the first 45 days, and as usual remaining 60% came in last 1 week. So we, at least these 40% papers were reviewed well in advance, decision were taken, and only 60% papers were reviewed in that remaining 2 months. So intention was to have quality reviews. Another intention was to create an avenue to give further discount to the researcher, IEEE members, as well as the students. So in fact, in less than $25, and I repeat, less than $25, a student was able to publish a paper in IEEE conference. So that kind of initiative we have taken in Bangalore section. And I think this can be replicated at global level also, because this way we can further, I know IEEE tells that we earn money to give back to the society. when our one of the IEEE President Robert Michael was there, I told that why we earn and give back to the society. Our model should be at the beginning, we should discount the things so that we are already benefiting the society. So my proposal is, as you said, think differently. Rather than earning and giving back, why not at the beginning itself give the discount to the students as well as members, so that they see a value in IEEE. And with this initiative, in that connect, when I was the chair, we got 650, almost 650 papers in various tracks. Another thing we wanted to emphasize that in Connect, initially it was only communication, signal processing, and computing conference. We made it as a platform for all society chapters of Bangalore section to participate. More than 17 chapters they participated, and still it is continuing. So every society chapter which is there in Bangalore, they manage own a track in Connect. All logistics, finances is taken care by Bangalore section. They have to mention only review process, selection of the keynote speakers, paper selection, all those things only they have to do. So we created a platform where section and chapter collaboration. What I wanted to say, how at section level also we can create a platform and collaborative initiative at section level.
You know, Puneet, that's a very, very valid point. These are what I call the best practices are not widely known. Like Nigeria doesn't know this, as an example. They're struggling with this challenge. You have struggled 5 years back, you've solved it. So this could be in the MGA newsletter, as an example, or their website, that best practices to run student-focused conferences. Very good point. But this has to be, this is my point. I want to communicate more than give lectures myself, or to bring the good things and make it known globally rather than giving what my opinion is. So thank you. I'll talk to MGA to see how this kind of best practice be visible overall, globally.
Thank you, Professor Rahman. I will take one last question. I can see 4 minutes are still left in 9:15. So I will take Dr. Prashant Mishra is also raising his hand. Dr. Prashant, over to you.
Good evening, sir. I'm Prashant Mishra, and I am part of the Bangalore section XCOM. Sir, my question is mostly related towards industry activities, and I think a lot of people are given a lot of advice around it, and a lot of suggestions, good suggestions come up. There are two things I like to probably bring to your attention. One is that while we have to work grounds up, we also need to work top down. So, what is that model of IEEE to work top down with the industry? Do we have something like a CTO IEEE CTO Connect forum, wherein we are able to talk to the CTOs of every company directly and bring them under the IEEE purview or interest group, so that they can percolate the information to their larger teams when they talk internally? That is one. Second is, I think a couple of years back, we tried to replicate the model of a student branch inside industries also. Just like your student branch, in colleges, we wanted to create something like an industry cohort in the industry setup. But then we were not very clear how the logistics work out, because somewhere we got feedback saying that if we probably set up IEEE, let's say, I'm giving a simple hypothetical example, IEEE Intel industry cohort, would that mean that IEEE is favoring Intel for some reason? So these types of basically questions were asked to us, and we were not very clear as to what are the best way to basically answer those, or how would IEEE still maintain its what's the balanced behavior while trying to deliver the good work it does, right? So these are the 2 points I want to bring to your notice. And if you could give some suggestions as to how we could probably, do you believe that a model like a student branch could be replicated as an industry cohort in industries? And if so, the questions of this kind that come up time and again as IEEE is favoring industries, certain industries or certain segments, how can we best address that? That's my question, sir. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Prasant. First of all, top down is happening to some extent, not a whole lot. I will bring up my experience as in the PES level. We have what we call we call Executive Advisory Council in PES. These are company CEOs, COOs, about 20 of them, The president meets with them for dinner, for lunch once a year at the PS general meeting. We have that. This is how top down, because when a company CEO hears about PES programs in his or her industry, they get absorbed in this discussion. Then they go back, talk to their HR people, their COO. They look at IEEE as a platform to improve the performance of our engineers. That happens. That's PES. IEEE has Industry Advisory Board, IAB. I have talked about that before, but this is not very formalized. I hope to bring it in as a formal event. I can, as a president, go to Silicon Valley and invite 15 or 10 COOs, CEOs, have dinner with them and explain the benefit of IEEE, which would at the same time raise the issue of employee level branch, like student branch, I call employee branch. And we have done that in PES again. I formed the industry engagement committee where we go to industry like I mentioned this, Bestcom, Bangalore, Schneider. Those are examples. So it's not PS is favoring Bestcom or Schneider. Anybody can join this. So this issue that you raise, Intel cohort, is IEEE favoring Intel? No. It's open. Intel happens to be the first, could be 10 more after Intel. No problems. I would not worry about that part, that the looks about preferring a society, a company over somebody else. So I would like to be active in this. Industry Advisory Board for IEEE exists, but it rarely meets. And I would like to see we do more than that. And with our program of industry engagement activities at PES, the way it works, like Bestcom has brought in 25 engineers on this their committee that we are signing up, and they meet. This is their kind of club to talk about IEEE activities, like you did mention employee branch. Similarly, Schneider has it, Power Grid India has it now. Calculator Supply CSC is planning to add to that their list. So this is happening. So I want to bring it up at the IEEE level, this engagement with industry. Thank you for bringing it up. Thank you, Prasant.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Professor
sir.
Rahman. I will take liberty and I will still take one more question because I can see it is coming from one of the subsection chairs. So Dr. Jangam Shetty wants to ask you, he is also from PES, so I think you will give another 5 minutes to us. So Dr. Jangam Shetty, over to you.
Good evening. Good
Yes.
evening, Professor Rahman.
It's Dr. Shetty.
And from North Karnataka, thank you for giving me this opportunity to ask question. This was related to two things. One was the membership count of subsections, how it can be reflected in the accounts, because we come under Bangalore section 3 subsections. In OU NLX, when you see, the actual membership number doesn't come because we only give the regional district wise, we give the number, but the members, they will be working in some other place. The count is not coming correctly. I had also asked this question to Mr. Mishra, who is coordinating. This was one. How can we really get 1 point added in that maybe membership form so that we can say we belong to this subsection? This is number one. Secondly, getting the IEEE merchandise purchased in Indian INR. There should be some initiation, like Puneet Mishra ji also told that we can have separate membership payment, or even the region 10 India 10A or something like that, only Indian. So this merchandise purchasing also, because these lapel pins or t-shirts or anything that can be really exhibited as a member representation, in this regard, can some initiation be made where we can get the merchandise easily? Otherwise, we have to have either credit cards or have a separate form filled for that. That's what it is going on. So these two, I just wanted to put it across.
Thank you, Dr. Jangam Shetty. Couple of answers to the merchandise purchasing. We face this in PS quite a bit. We have things that people cannot buy. So I think now IEEE accepts PayPal payments for membership dues and maybe merchandising. I'll check with the IEEE Bangalore office next door from you, Harish Mysore, what we can do for allowing purchase using INR and maybe through PayPal. We can look into that. Second point you raise, adding a box on the form, which subsection you belong, is a good idea. There's an MGA decision. We have to go to MGA and bring it to their attention. So, Puneet, if you don't mind, can you send me an email with that very point, adding a
Sure.
section box, and I can,
Yes.
if I your email, I can just copy it to the MGA vice president and tell them to take. It's super difficult, but they have to know this is requested.
Sir. So I can see only two raised hand now left. So,
Okay, let's get it done. Let's get it done. Okay.
yeah. So one is from Dr. Preet. Dr. Preet, over to you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Puneet. I was one of the first one to raise hand, and thanks to Dr. Rahman for his time and all the inspiration here. So kind of you, sir. So I'm from the other, I would say, the neglected part of IEEE. I'm an industry IEEE member.
We love you. We want more of you. We want more of you.
Certainly, sir. And it's done. I'm here probably into Triple E more probably due to Dr. Puneet, because I got connected with him when I was part of the Triple E Bangalore chapter. Now I have moved to Delhi, so I'm associated with Delhi chapter, but I'm still contributing to a lot of Bangalore chapter activities, and got a lot of encouragement from the Triple E. Recently received even that outstanding industry volunteer award. So industry folks are really valued, as you said, that the perception is changing, and I feel the way we have this diversity wave all across the globe, diverse, equal gender equality, probably we need to bring in the same kind of diversity wave here in Triple E. And good to know your thoughts. But I feel if we could make a mandate, a top-down mandate, that in the whole section level, we should have this many minimum, percentage of industry representation. Bangalore is doing fabulous job, no doubts about it. But if you see the rest part of India, probably the Bangalore numbers would only outreach, would be more than the rest part of the India. Okay, so probably that kind of mandate has to come. Okay, and many times I have seen there are industry members, but they don't get opportunity to participation actively in the events. So it's like the moment you get one in, so one would become 10 and 10 would become 100. So I think that kind of mandate, if it is top down, certainly would help reaching out or increasing the member participation. Second thing, as you already talked about, that we need to see how we leverage the best practices. Okay, whatever Bangalore is doing, probably someone on the top north should be doing or west should be doing. So many times we see that even at the regional or sub-regional level, those best practices are not exchanged. There are not many forums where people come and encouraged to come and at least learn. Look, I did this, we screwed up, you should not do it. Okay, that's again a learning, and at the same time we did this, and it's a lot of fruitful things. So probably that sub-regional or regional level things needs to be done. The other point which is already talked about is that the weightage at the top should be based on membership base, not on the region base. Okay, so people who are doing good in a region with more number of membership should get represented well on the top, so that they are encouraged more to make it more. Okay, rather than just making it a regional base wherein the whole R10 is voiced out instead of having huge member presence. So like Bangalore itself, the number of Bangalore members are outreaching any of the many other things. So probably they should have more voice so that they get more encouragement to make it more double X or triple X. So those are the few of the humble requests. I see a lot of them are part of your agenda, but we look that happening more into practicality, because being talked multiple times, and thanks to you to driving this. But how do we get to a mandate, a top-down mandate, which should get implemented at each regional, each section, subsection level? Thank you.
Very brief comment, Dr. Preet, for your comments and concerns. One is conferences are heavily paper-based. Industry engineers don't have time to write papers. They don't have time. They don't. What I did, we have a conference we did in India recently, ISGT, Smart Grid Conference, or PES conference, ISGT. I ran that 3 times in a row in Washington, 13, 14, 15. When I designed the conference, I said in this conference, 2/3 of will be panels, 1/3 paper. That's it. I've got 60 slots, 40 slots for panels, 25 papers. That's it. Done. Then I forced the organizers to bring industry people to talk in the panels. And that worked very well, very well. I invited the US Secretary of Energy. He came to give a talk. I invite people from GE Vice President, she came. Power company presidents came because now they have no reason to write a paper 5-page in advance. They come and speak from their mind. Sometimes no PPT needed, just speak. What do you think? We record those, we make the recording available in the library. You can see it. PES library has those recordings and their views. So this is how I practice what I preach.
Certainly. So kind of you, and on the same line, we are doing this in one of the conference. It's not a IEEE conference, but IEEE technically sponsored. We have a user designer track wherein one needs to only submit 6 slides.
Exactly.
And if the idea is good, you need not to write, 8-page double column IEEE paper. But if the idea is good, it would get selected. So hats up to you for all these initiatives.
Thank you, Preet. Thank you.
Yeah. So last hand is from V. Mahadevan. So Dr. Mahadevan, over to you.
Am I audible now?
Yes. Please go ahead.
Yeah, my major this thing is about the present hazards which 5G and beyond would take. So are there any concrete plans by IEEE to take this further for both 5G and beyond, specifically in case of RF hazards to the public? Because this is going up in a very big way throughout the world, and some countries have already implemented. So what is the plan? Because IEEE being a major society for this, so what is their plans for this?
It's a good point, Madhavan. What I will do, I'll bring this idea to the attention of the IEEE Standards Association. They're looking at the benefits and challenges of any such technology like 5G, and challenges would be the health effect of 5G signals on human beings, animals, even plants. So that would be something I would follow up. Thank you for bringing it up. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
So with this, we will end this session. Thank you very much, Professor Rahman. I know we initiated this so that you will be having a short opening remarks of 2 minutes. And we forced you to take half an hour, but members made it 1.5 hours of a session. So really thankful to you for your time as well as confidence given to Indian members, specifically Bangalore section members, that yes, our voice will be heard and you are going to take care of us because of your several connections over past 3 decades. And we are very much looking forward for your tenure, where we can see when IEEE which talks about diversity, equity, and inclusion, they will walk the talk.
Right.
So that way, I will be ending this session. Thank you very much for joining us this evening as well as your morning. We wish you a good day.
Thank you, everybody, for very good questions, comments. I learned a lot. I hope I can bring some of those to real life. Thank you again. Good night. Good night.
Thank you very much.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.